Welcome back to Disney Channel Chat. We know it's been a very, very long time. So, just a quick reminder, I'm Theresa.
And my name is Celeste.
And today we are back to talk about Camp Rock, all things Camp Rock 1, Camp Rock 2, and the very quickly coming Camp Rock 3.
We got 24 hours from, or a little bit more than that, from the time that we're recording. So we wanted to come on and first just kind of give like a brief reintroduction of ourselves because it's been years since our last full-length episode. This is our first episode that we've ever done virtually between me and Theresa. So we wanted to kind of give you guys a brief, very quick overview of the podcast and who we are and why Camp Rock means so much to us before we kind of get into our predictions. So, do you want to start about like your background and then I can go, or how do we want to do this? Because we're a little rusty.
Yeah, so my background is not nearly as extensive as Celeste, but I just grew up watching Disney Channel. I've always been obsessed with Miley and Jimmy and the Jonas Brothers and Selena, that era. Raven, Lizzie, Hillary. And we've been, trying to get this podcast going for a while. And I think virtual might just be the way we have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with a neck injury and stuff, which, I mean, I don't want to get too much into medical stuff, but it's been difficult for me to move around. And that's kind of been part of the cause of the delay of the podcast and everything. So, but we wanted to come back on and definitely do something for Camp Rock 3.
We couldn't not do something for Camp Rock 3. I mean, we did stuff for Hannah Montana, but I don't think anything ever happened for the anniversary.
Yeah.
But we never got to finishing it, which is
well, it's finished. It's just I didn't do as much promotion
we never
as
had
I wanted to.
I'm so sorry. I was talking over you and the sound cut off.
No, you're fine. I was saying that I didn't do as much promotion for it as I wanted to. So Theresa and I did a skit for that. It's like about like a 10-minute skit or something of us commemorating Hannah Montana. And that was a big series for us, but Camp Rock is also like a big movie in DCOM for our friendship. I mean, it came out in 2008. What grade were we in 2008? Probably like
we were like 12, 13, I think.
Yeah. I think we would have been in 7th grade then, if we were like about 12 or 13. So we were definitely both in middle school at the time, and at that time, I think we were already like familiar with the Jonas Brothers.
You knew the Jonas Brothers. You knew the Jonas Brothers before I did. You and Cameron both did.
So I introduced you guys you and Cameron to the Jonas Brothers. Cameron was our other friend at the time, and Teresa's neighbor at the time.
I think you and Cameron's things, I think they were separate, but like you both were fans of them before I was.
Okay. Because I don't really remember, like it kind of like all came at once, sort of. Like at that time, like the Jonas Brothers were just kind of blowing up. Like in 2007, they released the Jonas Brothers self-titled album. And I remember that was the album that I like really started getting into them. I didn't know about It's About Time, and because I knew of them from year 3000, so I might have maybe mentioned it to you offhand because you didn't have Disney Channel like at the time.
You and Cameron both liked the song SOS.
Okay, so you remember some details more than me.
And it just took me a little bit longer to get into it because, of stupid child reasons.
Well, I think you also kind of got into them too, like from, like, I mean, you love Joe's personality and everything, so it became more than like just loving a band.
Their YouTube videos.
Yeah, the YouTube videos really, yeah. Because you really love their sense of humor and everything, and then the music kind of came with that. See, like the thing with the Jonas Brothers, at least, like, and I can only speak for myself, but like, I love them, but like more than the music, like them as human beings and stuff, like, and who they are as people. Like they're very charismatic on camera. Like they have their own personalities. Joe is the jokester, Nick is the serious one, Kevin is the one that like kind of holds the mold together, like
pragmatic one.
Right. That element of it comes out in the YouTube videos. Because I remember like we would bond over the YouTube videos, watching them, like all three of us, me, you, and Cameron, and like we were probably reenacting knowing us.
Bells. They're sorry. Their YouTube videos with Demi Lovato with like when Joe's scratch and sniff website.
Yeah. I always forget about that, but that one was one of my favorites.
I mean,
but
like,
that all came around
any single one on a tour bus.
Yeah. I think I read like while they were filming the first Camp Rock, they were writing Lines, Vines, and Trying Times like on that set. Or a little bit longer, depending on when they filmed it. One of the two albums, they were writing it on the set.
They filmed it in like September 07.
Yeah, so it probably would have been a little bit longer then.
Yeah, that's too early for Lines, Vines.
Yeah. Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. I would have, if they were writing it during a movie, it would have been Camp Rock 2.
But speaking of characters, so we know the Jonas Brothers are going to be coming back in Camp Rock 3. As Jason, Nate, and Shane. I don't want to give any spoilers that I may have accidentally seen. I only have like one, but
yeah, I think we have the same
spoilers. I don't want to know. I want to be so surprised.
Yeah.
I didn't know what's going to happen. I didn't watch any trailers.
Me neither.
For Camp Rocks 1 or 2. Like,
well,
I don't even think it's commercials.
This is the thing, and like, I've told you this off camera too. Like trailers now kind of give away a little bit more of the story now. Not all of them, but like some of them, and it makes me very cautious to want to go watch the trailer because I feel like it's going to give away elements of the story. Like, I want to be, like, surprised about the set. Like, I want to be like, oh, I recognize the set. Like, I want to, like, be surprised with the whole thing. Like, have genuine reaction when we watch it together.
Like the set is just exactly the same. What are we expecting for the characters of Camp Rock 3?
I'm not really expecting the Jonas Brothers to be in it much.
Okay.
I think they've made it kind of clear based off of the interviews that I've heard, like, and even them themselves say that this is like a passing the torch movie.
Right.
So I think like just like how like Wizards Beyond Waverly Places and Raven's Home was with these characters that we grew up with in the movies that like the originals, they're going to become the B story, whereas like the new age actors are going to be like the A story of the whole thing. There's probably going to be like drama. Like I assume there's going to be like the Tess Tyler of the group. There's going to be the Mitchie of the group. There's going to be the Shane of the group and stuff. And we'll probably be able to point it out pretty quickly of like, oh, that's who that's supposed to be. That's who that's supposed to be. Because that's how it kind of was for like Wizards and stuff. Like you knew like, okay, like Billy, like before people knew that was like Alex was the mom, like that's supposed to be Alex. So I think that that's kind of like a route they're going to go with it. But that's just my thoughts.
Now you say there'll be another Shane. When you say that, what do you mean? Like there's going to be another love interest, or there's going to be another?
It could be a love interest. Yeah, like there might. I think there. That's my prediction. Is that there's going to be like another love interest. Be another
pop star with too big of an ego.
Yeah, I don't think so. See, like that's like the thing that I think is going to be like a different angle with this movie. Is that like they're coming back, like, so the plot is, and like, do I want to give away the spoiler of what we know, at least like the generic plot is? I mean, I think most people that are listening to this probably know.
The generic plot, I think everybody knows.
Yeah, like the brothers
has to find an opening act.
Yeah, that's all I know. And I would assume that there's going to be drama with like people are fighting for the opening act spot. That's probably what's going to happen.
I imagine Final Jam will be like when they come and decide.
Yeah, like how they did in the first movie, like where they're gonna like be on the judging panel or something.
Right.
But
for the duet lady.
Yeah. See, besides Jonas Brothers, I don't know who else is showing up, if anybody.
I've seen obviously posters. I do recognize one of the characters from, I believe, Zombies.
Okay.
I believe he's a vampire.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be like passing of the torch. So I don't think I think the Jonas Brothers will be in it like in the opening scene. Like it might be like I'm imagining like, or maybe not opening scene, but like maybe the opening is going to be like the new kids like arriving at the camp. And then like
finding out. I feel like it would be the new kids coming in and finding out that his nephew or nephews, because we never I feel like in the first one they're not brothers, and the second one
that's a cause of like discussion of like, are they brothers? Are they not?
Because I was re-watching Camp Rock on Disney Channel. It was on at 8 o'clock last night, and Nate specifically says to Shane, "Your uncle."
Yeah. That's in the first one, right?
That's in the first one, and in the second one, they super act like brothers.
Well, the second one, there is a scene where Joe and Demir, Shane and Mitchie, are at the lake. And I think it's like the scene right around where they go into You're My Favorite Song. And Mitchie is like kind of still in that like teetering space where like she's kind of becoming hyper obsessive about like being a perfectionist to save the camp. And Shane says something like, the reason why I'm here, the reason why my brothers are here is to get to know you better, something like that. And that he says it loud and clear there. So
you can say
saying brothers could be the actual brothers or like my bros, like my friends or something. So I don't know like what the angle was there. But I have a feeling they'll probably clear that up in this movie. Like I feel like they're going to do a lot of fan service.
Well, right. But another thing, I think they maybe a little bit have to. I think Camp Rock 3 is going to, at the very least, be initially very successful.
Yeah.
Because it's Disney, it's music, and like every person who grew up on Camp Rock and Camp Rock 2 and has a child now is at least going to check it out.
Well, and it seems like Sophia, and Sophia is Teresa's daughter, just for awareness. So you guys didn't know. So you showed Sophia 1 and 2. Like earlier this week, and you said that she loved it. So,
and they added it to the Zombies Descendants World Tour.
Yeah. So now that's going to be all the new age campers that are going to that. Like the Jonas Brothers and Demi might like show up at one stop. But like I don't think they're going to be
much a part of that.
Yeah, that's for like the kids. I think that's more so for Sophia's. Like we'll go or whatever. Like if I'm feeling better, like we're going to decide we're going to plan on going and making that like a whole experience. But
we have to go. I feel like I've almost promised.
What other like predictions like can you think of off the top of your head? Like one of the things like before we started filming, I had mentioned that Kevin's character is definitely going to mention the birdhouse. Like we might even see the birdhouse. Like I think they're going to bring that up.
We're going to see a birdhouse. Maybe like in the window. Oh, so I think if anything, I think the boys would come like at the end at Final Jam. I don't necessarily know that they'll be in the opening scene. I think they'll probably
might like show. They might be like. They might be introduced by like a counselor or something. Because here's another thing, and I don't know if like this is going to spoil it for you, but I think like this is pretty well known too. Of like Connie, who like is the Mitchie's mom. She's like a main cast member. Like that was like on like the poster and everything. So my guess is that like she's gonna play like Brown's role a little bit. Like to me, like that. My prediction is she's gonna take over Brown's role, and like he's not gonna be in it. If he shows up, I'd be surprised. But that's the way that I feel like they marketed it. But they could be doing that as a way to kind of throw us off. But I don't think so. They're gonna announce like, "Hey guys, we're looking for this opening act. Brush up on your skills, and we're gonna come back at the end of the summer." And back for Final Jam or so. That's good. That's my guess of what's going to happen. Like they'll probably be like in the beginning, maybe the middle. Like they might have like a scene in the middle, like to show what they've been up to during the summer, like with like prep or whatever, like tour prep or something like that.
Like how in the first movie, Shane would give Nate and Jason phone calls so that Kevin and Nick could have their little cameos.
Yeah. And it could even be like Connie that gives them a call or something, like, because it seems like to me like Connie's like really close with them in this movie.
I feel like that's the only way we would get Mitchie in it.
Yeah.
Through Connie. So other predictions. 1, did Mitchie make it big?
Probably. They probably made that character go big.
Probably.
I
feel
think they
like
would do that. I think they would kind of take Demi's personal success and kind of sprinkle that into Mitchie's. I mean,
I agree.
Mitchie has Demi's voice, and like when you have a voice like that, like you can't not go big.
And in Camp Rock 2, it was televised. So the entire world would have heard Mitchie sing and been like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of Camp Rock
And sing
too,
with Shane Gray of Connect.
yeah, they would. Well, they were already known, but yeah, but
Right,
they
that's what
were
I'm saying.
known, but they were kind of like they didn't have the best media perception at the time. So I
Well,
would assume
Shane
that
didn't
Shane
have the
did.
best media perception in Camp Rock 1, but their media presence is not mentioned as much in Camp Rock 2. And like their
Yeah.
whole being superstars is not mentioned as much.
Yeah. Now remember, Big Rob was also in Camp Rock too and played the bodyguard. So like it was kind of like a little bit of like
And
how Jonas is like
Frankie was
bringing
in
it,
it.
and yeah, he was in it too. So like, imagine like we get like Frankie, or now he's known as Franklin, to come back. You know, like that. I think that would have been a really cool addition. I mean, like Franklin was like part of
I
the
don't
tour and
know
everything.
how they
So
would work that in.
I don't
He
know.
was just
Well, he was a junior
camper.
rocker at the time, so he could come back as a counselor or something. Like he would be like
Right.
old enough, like in his 20s at this point, to be like a counselor or something. Like he's probably not going to do that. Like I
But
would be
he
very
wasn't-
surprised, but that would be really cool to see.
But even his character was not as into rock and roll and was more into videography. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it would make sense for even his character to go that route.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about now, like our because I know that we were talking about this yesterday about what movie we prefer, and I know Sophia had said that she had preferred the first one.
She did.
And
Didn't necessarily give a reason though.
yeah, I assume that like mother, like daughter, it's probably a similar reason as to why you prefer one. Tell us a
I
little bit more.
think she likes one because she knows the songs more at this point.
Yeah,
I don't. The reason I just put one maybe slightly over two is because one is less of a musical
Yeah.
and more of a movie with music, and I just like how they worked.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, I love a musical. I love a musical, but like Disney was doing so many musicals.
Yeah.
And I just like, it was just nice seeing the music just worked into the plot naturally. Like, this is where someone would sing a song, like, as opposed to we're now breaking out into song.
yeah, yeah. Into like the songs just kind of like came out of nowhere and everything,
Right.
like very High School Musical-esque and everything. Which, for some reason, like I think for me, like I mean, Teresa knows this. Like, I mean, I'm like a huge High School Musical fan, like literally obsessed. Like, know all the dances.
The thing
like-
is,
and I'm like that with Camp Rock too. Like, I mean, Camp Rock also like a combination of Camp Rock and High School Musical, along with like Hannah Montana and Jonas and Sunny with a Chance and all those shows and movies and everything, had inspirations for the TV show that me and Teresa are in the midst of developing and everything for Disney Channel. But like Camp Rock specifically, like I remember like taking the opening scene of like Mitchie like waking up in the room and everything with opening credits and going downstairs for breakfast and everything. That was supposed to be the opening scene of like our Disney Channel show and everything. So like
Right.
I was like obsessed.
I remember you went on your Sims and
Yes.
like made your Sims act out
I
the
still have the
opening
video.
scenes, Camp Rock.
Yep. That's like hyper obsessive, but also like so inspired by these series, like to become more creative. So another difference between the first one and the second one for me isn't just the music, but I think it's also like kind of the story and the script. I feel like there was like more at stake with the second one. So like there was a little bit more like complexity in the story, whereas like the first one was a little bit more of like a coming of age with Mitchie's character. Like it really focused on Mitchie, and like yes, it focused on Final Jam, but it was like the story was kind of told through Mitchie's perspective a little bit.
I mentioned this to you earlier, but I'll mention it now. If Jason has lines and comes back as a total dimwit, I will be very annoyed. It's like,
Yeah.
it just never made sense to make him an idiot. And they did it in the show, and they did it in the movies.
Yeah. I guess they needed like one brother as like
Comedic relief. I feel like Kevin's the only one with enough confidence to make that his recurring character.
What was the thing I liked about the second movie?
is they gave storylines to both Nick's character and Kevin's character. And I really think that they were like good, like it wasn't like they just like threw something together. Because like the reason why the two of them weren't really in the first movie was because they were written in, which we found that I think in the documentary, the Jonas Brothers Chasing Happiness documentary, where their dad, the Jonas Brothers' dad, was like, well, if you have Joe, like, is it possible that we can have Kevin and Nick in there? Because we really are trying to keep the brothers together and everything. We don't want one brother to shine and then it causes a whole ego thing. Right. I think that that's kind of what they were going. And then they were like, okay, we'll write them in. So they had to rework the whole script. So that's why they were like kind of like only like a few scenes.
I wonder, so was he just supposed to be a solo rock star?
Probably, I guess. Which, that could actually answer why it was never established if they're brothers or not. Because they didn't really like, they just kind of threw them in there last minute.
Second. That's true.
The Camp Rock 2, the final jam, like it really did a lot of the characters justice with character development.
I think
that. That's what I like about it too.
I agree with that.
Like I think like the characters have more like established goals too. I remember telling you that like I really connect with Camp Rock 2 because I see a lot of myself in Mitchie in Camp Rock 2. Because Mitchie in Camp Rock 1 and Mitchie in Camp Rock 2 are a little bit different.
Well, they're very different. They have very different goals. Mitchie in Camp Rock 1 wants to fit and wants people to like her. Mitchie in Camp Rock 2 is trying to save Camp Rock.
Yeah. Also, like in the second movie,
she was stressed. She was stressed because she threw herself into her work. Gee, I wonder if I know anybody like that.
Oh, it might be somebody that you're looking at on
multiple screens right now.
It might be somebody wearing the Camp Rock hat right
now. You're wearing a yellow shirt.
Like, that's also why I like the second movie, because I see a lot of myself in that character too. Because I would literally be like that, like when Shane is coming by to just be like, I just want to like have a candlelit dinner by the lake or whatever he says, and she's like, I'm working on this song right now, like I can't do that or whatever, and like he like, and she's like kind of like rude to him,
right?
And that leads into Wouldn't Change a Thing, which Wouldn't Change a Thing is like one of like the best songs from the whole franchise.
It's a top 5.
Yeah, for sure. I think it might be like top 5 in like DComs. Like, I mean, it's up there, like, with all, like, the songs that come from DComs. Like, if you had to make, like, a playlist.
This Is What Dreams Are Made Of is really up there.
Well, that's not a DCom, though.
That's not a DCom?
It's a Walt Disney picture. Because I would, just like the Hannah Montana movies, Walt Disney picture.
Were they?
But they aired on Disney Channel.
Lizzie McGuire wasn't in theaters.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
Hold on. We never even discussed it. This could be a whole other episode of Disney Channel Chat. Teresa and I were there to witness the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato reunion. So I feel like we kind of have to like at least skim that and like that I think that's dedicated to a whole other my thing.
I blacked out or browned out at least. Like I hardly remember. Like I remember. It feels like a dream. I like hardly remember it. That for me was like that was my errand store.
Yeah.
That was my errand store. I blacked out. I was screaming so hard. The video you sent me of me just grabbing my face.
So the crazy thing about that is we were not supposed to see that in person. Like we were not planning on going to that. We were going to go to Citizens Bank Park night in Philly like a few days later.
But they moved Citizens to Camden?
Yeah. They moved it to
Camden. A different day. A different day or a different time?
I didn't know it was the same day.
But they moved it to Camden.
It was just a different venue. Like, we had good seats. We were supposed to be like right near the stage at Citizens Bank.
Right.
And I remember I was like so bummed. But then like we wouldn't have seen the reunion in person, so I said, I think that requires like a whole other episode for us to talk about our experience of that show. But I wanted to bring that up because that was the start of them announcing that at that time, this time last year, because that was on August 10th, we didn't know that Camp Rock 3 was happening. Mm-hmm. But like a few, I think maybe like months later or something, like they announced it, and I was like, that's why they brought her out. So like, but I'm glad that they're on good terms now, though. So what else? What other predictions before we sign off? Music. What about music? Like, what?
I mean,
Talk about,
I'm excited for some like OG Disney rock and roll. I'm ready for
I hope this is be rock and roll.
because Zombies is very hip hoppy and Descendants is very poppy. So I'm looking forward to some Disney rock.
I hope that we get that pop rock sound of like the early 2000s, like the Jonas Brothers, like self-titled album kind of sound, or like something.
No, here we go again. The Don't Forget sound.
Yeah.
Even Miley was rock and roll when she started.
Yeah.
Camp Rock 3, set to air on Disney Channel August 13th, 8 p.m. Set to air on Disney Plus the next day. Very excited. I put in an 8-hour request for tomorrow.
Oh, you did?
I did. I put in an 8-hour. I left a little note saying like I just want to be home by 7:30.
So, do you know, is that going to get approved today?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll get approved or not.
Another thing I want to see if we can live stream our reaction. So then we just have it on camera. Because like once we see it once, we're never going to see it once ever again.
That's true.
So like how we did for Hannah Montana where we live streamed it. That we're going to hope to do a live stream so we can share initial reactions with you guys. Because like as you can tell, like big fans of Camp Rock, like we know the script 1 and 2 like the back of our hands. I mean, I literally have like Mitchie's boots, like the boots with the fringe. Like I got them for Christmas one year and I freaked out. Like I literally have the exact model.
I know what boots you're talking about.
Yeah. The brown boots with the fringe. I have.
The ones that she wears with the reddish shirt.
Yeah, I think she wears it.
I think she wears them all movie, honestly.
Yeah. We will come back on Thursday.
Yes, we will see you guys back here Thursday, aka tomorrow. What are your predictions? The characters for the music, or the involvement of the OG stars, and how excited are you for Camp Rock 3?